Hey, this is Chugg, and in this video we're going to be looking at some more aiming related exercises. Now if you haven't watched my first video on aiming, I encourage you to go and do that now. So in the first video we looked at this exercise where the target is stationary, you're stationary, and you have unlimited time to make the shot. Now I consider this to be the most important exercise, so if you really want to get good at aiming, make sure that you are very good at doing that. Adding more complexity with harder exercises is only going to obscure and distract you from actually refining your ability to control your mouse. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm having trouble recording this video. I've tried many times, so I'm just going to riffle off the exercises one after another to make you happy. So, it's good to use the guns as a way to formulate different exercises. So the lightning gun. What situations can we use this in that apply directly over into games? So the jump pad is a big one. Any opponent that goes up a jump pad has 100% predictable movement unless they're Anarchy or Swalag and maybe they're using W. Doesn't matter. Most opponents will go up, they'll hit a certain height and they'll fall. They'll have slight variation sideways, but their vertical momentum is always going to be the same. Now you can practice this with a friend, which is what I really recommend, but if you have no friends, sadly, or if your friends are not willing to buy this game while it's unfinished, you can just observe that the apex of this jump pad is roughly equal height to the nose of the Elder God. So that means that this is roughly equal here. They're never going to go higher than this, unless they rocket jumped or maybe nail gun jumped or something, but they're never realistically going to be higher than this. So you can practice this kind of flick, quick acceleration, and hit the apex, and then slowly descend. And you can practice this shape and refine that technique. If you could do it from the other perspective as well. If you've got an opponent that's standing here like an idiot, you can go up the jump pad and track them as a point. Now this will take a lot of getting used to. I'm not very good at it because I get really thrown at this stage where you step on, you have this really sudden acceleration. I can track fairly well once I get to about here. But so long as you can have more control than some random person who's never really practiced this and has only ever done this situation in a real game, you're going to have a distinct advantage. Okay, you don't have to do it against imaginary opponents. Again, if you have a friend, it's really good. You can also use health bubbles. This is what I primarily use. I don't really practice this, I used to, but I've got to the point where I think I'm good enough at it that I don't even need to practice it anymore, which is a lot of hubris, but as you can see, I have quite a bit of control, especially once I get higher up in the jump. Okay, lightning gun, what else can we do? There are LG fights. So, one component that Quake players have developed a long time ago was using your strafe keys to help you aim. There are some players that base their whole LG dueling strategy on this, where they will just leave their crosshair, they'll put their crosshair on their opponent and only just try to match their strafe movements and just maintain 100% accuracy. This takes away aiming from the equation. It's all about your ability to predict and mind game your opponent into, and reading their strafe pattern. I don't do this because I didn't play Quake. I haven't developed this, but I recommend you look at some Quake Live videos of people demonstrating this because again, I don't know how to do it. I don't have the muscle memory, I don't have the experience, and they'll be able to help you. Strafe aiming, LG. Okay, rockets. When do you use these? You use these as spam weapons for doorways to hold people out. You can also practice peeking corners with them. So this is something that's very useful. Is if you know they're on the pickup, they've been if you're in a duel and they've been consistently just sitting on the pickups before they pop up, 5 seconds before the pickup spawns, you just peek out, fire the rocket, back. Like this. Just get this muscle memory down of pre-aiming at the pickup. See, I missed. Okay, so it has to be here. So if I'm standing at this point, I look at this black line, peek out, Obviously I have to get the vertical level correct, but then it's just a matter of strafing, firing, strafe back. And the same thing with rail. This is another spot down here, back up against the wall. You don't have to be all the way back, but look about here. Okay, never mind. Use reverse engineering to get the precise location, so look at the point. So I have to look at the corner of this brick. And you see, that can be very useful. So aside from situations like that where you have to, we have like set shots, I call those set shots. Another one of course would be up here. If you know they're at heavy armor, you can have this pre-aimed, fire and retreat back to cover. So you can have the set shots. You can also practice just raw aiming ability. So again, just tracking a point. This is the big one. Now this looks fairly easy. I assure you that it's not. If you've never tried to do this, you will be all over the place. You'll be overextending and under-predicting, well, not predicting, but under-aiming all the time. And the real difficulty is the fact that there is acceleration in this game. So look at the number on the screen. That acceleration and deceleration period will really throw off your aiming. So I used to do this in Overwatch, but that doesn't have any acceleration or deceleration, so I'll just try to imagine that this is Overwatch, and this is sort of what it looks like. This is perfect, near perfect tracking of a point in Overwatch. So I had to learn this and this was very difficult. Not very difficult, but it was frustrating because it was not intuitive, and I'd already had this muscle memory built up. So I encourage you to be able to do this. What else is there? Mid-air rockets, yeah, again. Using jump pads, 100% predictable movement. You can learn where to fire with a rocket. If you have a friend that just wants to continuously feed onto the jump pad, you can use the sound and aim at you just know where the apex is of every jump pad. You can do this easily by, in the warm-up, just paying attention to how high you go. You could aim there, have your friend go on the jump pad, and only use the sound. You could just like listen for the jump pad noise and then fire half a second later. You can see, oh, I was too early, I was too late, and just refine that way. You could do it this way. Oh, no, that doesn't work. I was thinking you could, yeah, that doesn't work. Ignore that. I'm making up exercises on the fly for this, because I never practice this. I'm trying to sort of learn how to do mid-airs myself. This is a way. I haven't found a friend. I haven't found it to be necessary for me to be able to do that. I'm rambling slightly. What else do we have? The other weapons. Okay, what situations do we use the nail gun for? We use it for, like, as pressure to deny people coming around corners. You could use it preemptively. So let's say I've used it before here. Let's say I hear them pick up the nail gun. I can aim here with some spam and then switch to a better weapon as this is about to come up. So if they peek for a rail, they take maybe 1 or 2 nails, and then I'm there with a lightning gun to fight with a real weapon. Nail gun's a real weapon too, but it's not one of the 3. Again, if you know they're anarchy and they want to come around here, you can sort of preemptively, and you know that they're stacked and they will kill you. You can use it as pressure to retreat. So you can be shooting in and deny them from following you to get to the heavy armor. Now I just realized that many people won't be able to do that, but you can practice dropping and maintaining a tracking point as well. Like as you drop off, you can practice tracking the point of where they're likely to come from. But yeah, you can use nail gun as a retreat weapon to help create pressure and stop them chasing you, and you can get pickups and escape. Okay, Tribolt. With the changes, this has become, I think, better. So what's better about this? The delay and explosion is really good. So if you want to deny this choke point, but you have 4 rockets left, you could spam the rockets and then be like, oh well, I need to get more rockets. But that's not ideal. If you can spam the choke, sort of spray the bolts around. If you can spray them up here, you conserve your rocket ammo. And that's the main advantage that I can see for Tribal. I use it more than I should, but I sort of like it. Hitting the pellets, hitting the bolts is really satisfying and really punishing. You know, if you hit all three, it's 150 damage, so it's quite good. So you can use it in a similar way that you use nail gun, although it's less consistent because nail gun is a stream of nails, whereas Tribolt, they can peak at the right time to get the damage off and escape. This is one here. If your opponent is sitting on the mega and you want to peek from here, it's important not to just do this. Why? Because when you drop off the stairs, you have this momentum that you can't stop. You're also making noise on the steps, that doesn't matter as much, but you don't have as much control and you sort of end up here. So when you get to this point, instead go to the right. So now I'm on the ground and I have full control to peek this way. Okay? Now an advanced thing that I did that I don't think is very good, because it's very situational and it can build a really bad habit, is practicing my movement along with my aim at the same time. So when I was learning Slash, I thought I might as well practice my flick shots at the same time. So I get the rail out, I could get rockets as well, it doesn't have to be rail, but I'd be aiming at the health bubbles. Whenever I saw a health bubble, it would trigger and I would try to make the shot. Now, just learning where the health bubbles are makes this a lot easier, and I'm going to be missing a lot because honestly I'm not that good. It's let's say I'm too quick to go for the shot. I'm not patient enough. But more importantly than all of this is that it's a terrible idea to run around the map with a railgun. So what situation am I actually practicing for? If let's say I come out here and I hit the shot, fantastic. But now I'm out in the open. I have to wait for the reload on the railgun. Let's say they had the rockets out. They had the rockets. They fired it here. I'm suddenly flying through the air. Maybe that rocket knocks my crosshair off, and I unexpectedly, I'm in a different position than I was expecting, and I flick to the wrong spot and I miss, and then they LG. I'm dead. It's a terrible idea to do that in terms of real game application. However, if you know they're on like 20 health, then it's a viable thing to try and do. I'd probably chase with rockets rather than, I'd probably come flying out with rockets rather than using railgun. But that's something I used to do, and I could, it needs more improvement. Yeah. So that's generally all I really wanted to say. I encourage you to experiment and to just think about different situations, like pick up a gun and think, where can I use this? Which situations is it good for, and can I practice those in a custom game alone or with a friend? So I do want to say that I'll be releasing a video on dual strategy for newer players or inexperienced players. If you've played Clan Arena for 6 years, never really touched duel because it was too oppressive, but you're willing to get into it now, I think I can help. I recently went through the process myself, and while I'm still quite bad, I'm getting better, and I think I can help people build the foundation of how to play duel and their own strategy. Okay. So look out for that on Reddit, or maybe subscribe. It'll be out in a couple of days, maybe 2 days. But yeah, that's all from me. So I hope this was helpful, and see you later.